Hey, it's Trixie. Welcome to the underground. And it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Dad, up in heaven. And we'll talk about all the Army parade, 250. Well, it's really the Trump parade. Trump birthday. They sang happy birthday to him. We'll get to all that. But first, look, I gotta mix it up. I'm not a news show. I just gotta tell you, I try to like mix humor into everything. Well, let me just tell you about, I worked the Strawberry Festival yesterday in South Windsor, Connecticut. Freezing, middle of June, freezing and drizzle all day long. Thank God my boss gave me a jacket because I refused to wear, are you kidding me? I refuse to wear a jacket in June. I don't care. I don't care if it's the Ice Age. I'm not doing it. There was a church next to us. This is my life. Every time I do maybe it's a sign, go to the church, you need it. Okay. They were a new church. They had one of the churches was in, like, a couple of them in Massachusetts, new one, Springfield, Worcester. And I said, what kind of church is this? He said, non-denominational, Christian. Okay. I signed up one of the guys because this is what it's like. Okay. I'm talking to a guy and he goes, come to my church. They all try to recruit you like Jehovah. Anyway, I said, well, is it inclusive? Is it accepting of all people? And he said, well, not of those with sinful lifestyles. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm out. Although I haven't sinned in a while that way. I'd like to get back to my sinful lifestyle, please. But anyway, I can't tell him I'm gay because that's going to cancel the appointment. Because my first thing is to get the appointment at all costs. I don't care if you shoot me. I'm going to get the appointment. So I'm talking to him and I said, we all sin. And he's like, yeah, but there's sinful lifestyles. I go, well, God doesn't measure sin. What do you think? He sits there with a stick measuring your sins? And then he tells me he was in jail. Okay. So I love this because I wish I was a priest. I could really talk to people about, just look at yourself. What did Jesus say? Take the plank out of your own eye. And I'm sure he's lived a good life since jail, but people could judge him for being a felon, or someone who spent time in jail. Like, we just need to be mindful of these things. Okay, let's go on. I was going to do this. Okay, so we have to get on with it. The Asian needle ants have come to the United States, or as I like to call it, Gilead. They're in Washington State, Florida. Yeah, I don't care if they're in Florida. Texas. I talked about this before. Trump didn't do anything about them crossing over the border. Actually, he's letting restaurant workers, people who work on farms, and hotel workers, because he knows those would go out of business without immigrants. What about immigrant doctors? All right, let me go. So their sting can kill you, okay? And I wish they'd go to Stephen Miller's house anyway. All right? Okay, dipshits in Florida. This is my new segment. Man facing charges after calling 911 from a strip club. Hey, I paid for a stripper. $300. She won't have sex with me in the private room. He's from Saudi Arabia. Well, how's he still here? What's going on? I think Trump likes them, right? The oil. He likes the oil. He's into Saudi Arabia. Okay, according to Newsweek, Americans in 11 states were asked to avoid the sun. You don't have to ask us. In the Northeast, Massachusetts, Connecticut, we don't see the sun here. It's all rain every damn day. It's like Florida due to high levels of ultraviolet radiation. This was last week. I'm my week old. All week long I do this, guys. So sorry. It's a little dated. This is according to the EPA, which they're still in business. I'm surprised he didn't cut them. He's going to cut them. I don't know how you can avoid the sun, but come to Massachusetts. It'll be easy. Okay, Trump's birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Trump, President Trump, 79 years old. They were singing happy birthday to him. It looked like, and I don't want to say it looked like, they didn't really show the crowd. It sounded like very few people there. Very few people. However, there were no King protests all across the country. And, $45 million for this. Look, I get it. It's the Army's 250th. I get it. You want to have a parade. I don't care about that. I'm paying for all these tanks to go through. And while you're going to cut my health care next year. I don't like that. So we can pay for that. We can pay for tax cuts for wealthy people. But you're cutting my health insurance. You're cutting Medicaid. That I don't like. And you're probably going to get rid of Social Security. Meanwhile, in Gilead, United States police arrested an 87-year-old man with a walker. protesting the military parade. I thought protests were legal. There were a lot of veterans protesting. I talked to a veteran a couple days ago at work, and she said she's afraid. She's a Marine. She's afraid of losing her job. I mean, that's very sick, if you ask me. So how can we justify that? How can the Republicans, I don't understand things in this world, but yeah, they took him, you should have seen him lifting him up off his walker, 87, and handcuffing the guy, taking him away. And the parade was starring horses, mules, tanks, combat vehicles, and aircraft. Mules? We have mules working for the Army? Okay. A 57-year-old white man with 3 names. Okay. Went in, murdered Minnesota lawmaker and her husband. He tried to assassinate 2 other people. And he worked for a security company. I'm learning a little bit. You should see his pictures on the FBI wanted list. Okay? With a cowboy hat. He appeared as a police officer in a Kevlar vest. Had a car like disguised as a police cruiser. This guy really did some thinking. He has nothing going on in his life. I just want to tell you, they interviewed one of his friends who was crying. I couldn't even understand a word he was saying. And he was saying, okay, then they picked the camera up after he stopped bawling. He's saying he's such a good guy. He's got so many friends. He loves God. He loves God and he committed murder? No, he loves the devil. I'm sorry, but people get it mixed up now who God is. Maybe you should read the 10 Commandments. It's a very short read for all those who can't really read too well. But thou shalt not kill. Is that number 6? I don't remember. 5 or 6. I don't remember. So this guy worked for a security company as director of security patrols. He was on the ring camera with a bald head. He's not bald. So he was wearing a mask. Wow. He had like hollowed out eyes. It was freaky. Like Jason Voorhees at your door. So they tell you, and I'm going to talk to Democrats right now, because these are right-wingers. The immigrants are the danger. Let me just talk to you about white men coming to your door. Cops don't travel in 1. They travel in 2s. Do not answer the door. I got to have my bat ready. They're coming. Yeah, the bat. That's really going to help me. So he had anti-abortion beliefs, a manifesto in his car. He had other people like Governor Walz that he was going to kill. I bet you there's a MAGA hat in there somewhere. So what else? But that was kind of like very smart, though, to disguise his face, knowing people have ring cameras. So they couldn't but they know who he is. And he got away. He was shooting at the cops and then, I don't know, he got away on foot. Where is he? Is he getting help? Where's his wife? Bring his wife in. The guy's married. He actually has a woman that he sleeps with, has sex with. I can't believe it. Vance Bolter bolted out of there pretty quickly. So Melissa Hartman, her husband gone. John Hoffman, his wife were shot, but they are out of surgery. I just got the news, and because I recorded this from last night. And they're expected, I guess it's cautiously optimistic that they're going to recover. According to the Pew Research Center, 15% support. 15% of us support deporting immigrants who work. Yes, we need them. Don't we know this? 14% support deporting parents of children born in the United States. Very small amounts. 9% support deporting immigrants who came to the United States as children. And 5% support deporting immigrants who are married to U.S. citizens. So Biden and Trump have something in common. They both don't know how to walk up the steps to an aircraft. They have Trump tripping. Although Biden's was a better trip. Biden trips better. According to NBCnews.com, Trump says Elon will face very serious consequences if he funds Democratic candidates, which will not happen because Trump got a call from Elon apologizing. Wow. How does this guy get everybody to bow before him? I don't get it. I don't get the lack of he wants the money. How can they call themselves men? I don't. He says he went too far in some of his posts. Yeah, like he was in the Epstein files. So maybe that he was talking about that one. Trump sent active Marines, 700 of them, to quell the protests in L.A. and ICE immigration arrests. And how many Marines? Thousands. How many Marines was there? 700 active, but there were like 1,000 of them sleeping on the floor with no food. I mean, really? Can't we use them in a better way? This is terrible. I don't blame them. They're following orders. Like the people in the protest saying shame on you. I don't blame them. They have to go, But They were showing it. And excuse me, I've seen worse at a Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl celebration or any celebration in Philly where they burn the cars and the dumpsters and fly off the street lights. I mean, really? I mean, people that are living in Los Angeles are saying it's not that bad. It's a small area. I get it. You don't want unrest. They're sending it in Wisconsin. They sent the National Guard out there. This is really good use of our troops, guys. And, what if something happened during that military parade? All those troops, you wonder if something, that would have been a good time for the enemies to strike, the enemies of the United States. So he just, against his own people. He's saying we hate the country. I don't protest. This is the way I protest. But anyway, he's the one who hates the country. He's trying to change everything. Who hates the country? Everything's upside down, upside down. So they had more United States troops activated than Syria and Iraq, like a war zone. Okay. 134 million costs. Add that to the 45 million of the parade that we have to pay for. And that is kind of overkill, if you ask me. He loves to create chaos, and he wanted to jail my governor of California, gorgeous Gavin Newsom. Gavin's like, come on, come get me. I mean, I love it. So also Trump, this is according to Rolling Stone, Trump didn't want fat soldiers in Fort Bragg. Okay. Get the fat ones out, he says. This is like he's prejudiced against fat people, and he was one of them. He lost a little weight. Now look at him. He's one of those people that is an alcoholic that stops drinking and gets all preachy. I don't know. Stephen Miller gave orders for the arrest. He's like, what are you doing? Why don't you go in Home Depot and get people? Why don't you go in the ice cream shops? I don't know. I mean, remember they're saying it's only the drug dealers. Now it's the working people. ICE mistakenly detains U.S. Marshal in Arizona. They're just grabbing everybody. Watch out, you could be next. I mean, whoever they want. They're thirsty. He fit the general description of a guy they wanted. Don't they say that? The cops say that a lot. Oh, and I got stopped once. They're like, you fit the car. We were looking for a suspicious red car. I'm a suspicious red car. That's okay. I don't care. I let them, here's my license. I don't fight with anybody. Do what you got to do. But this is scary. ICE, I mean, I don't know if they're coming for me. I'm Italian. I look light enough, don't I? I don't know. So I don't think any of us are safe, actually, even if we're legal. I think liberals are next anyway. Employees at the SSA, Social Security. This is according to USA Today. Thousands of Americans could see delays or stop checks in their Social Security as they have instructed workers to focus on 900,000 complicated cases this month. No food or mortgage payments for you. So if you updated your bank account recently or your location, your checks aren't coming. I mean, they're talking about raising Social Security taxes on working people, which I don't care. Do it. I really want Social Security when I retire. This is why I'm never going to retire. I'm afraid. And they said, I read somewhere that if they stop those checks, if they say, okay, no more Social Security, there's nothing we can do. Our money's gone. There's nothing like in a bank that has my money that they deducted. I'm paying for my mom, and the next generation pays for me. Gen Z, forget Gen Z. Just forget it. A psychologist says 5 things couples fight about the most. Number 1 can lead to divorce. This is a YouGov poll of 1,000 Americans. The tone of your voice, okay? The attitude that you have when you're talking, your sarcastic remarks, the eye rolling, signals contempt. Yeah, contempt, not good to feel for your partner. And they say fix, don't fight back. Don't fight back. You mean just let her win? Don't think so. I have that problem. I'm not good at relationships. Let her win. Okay, I'll try because I don't really want to die alone. Number 2, family relations. Oh, yes. The dreaded family. You know what? I would take my girlfriend or my wife over my family. Oh, they listen. They watch the show. Sorry. But, I think if I get with a partner, they're first. That's the way I look at it. I mean, maybe my mother. We'd work it out, But I still, you love them both, but you're married to your significant other. They should come first. Number 3, household chores. Forget it. You think I'm going to dust? I think that with men and women, it's a kind of uneven. Like you see women sweeping the floors and men sitting there watching the games. I hear some men do clean and cook, which is nice. But, okay, number 4, communication styles. If you're openly hostile, the conversation goes off the rails. Time out. Time out. We have to fix it. Leave the room. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, is to leave when you're upset. And Mark Travers, I always quote this guy. He's the one who's talking about this. Come back when you're calm and say, I understand you're upset, or, tell me why. Oh, God, I don't know if I can do this. I didn't know this. Between 1909 and 1979, California forcibly sterilized 20,000 people under the eugenics laws, which means gays, because it's Gay Pride Month. I want to talk about this. They're not specific towards LGBT, but kind of like they're going to put us in there. Individuals deemed unfit or abnormal, moral or sexual perverts, like that guy was talking to me about yesterday. People with questionable sexual behavior. Good thing I didn't live back then. I don't care if they sterilized me. I don't want to do it anyway. The people targeted were minorities. Yeah, they get thrown in there all the time anyway. Gays, trans, disabled, and poor people. This is normal. Plus, let's throw in sluts for good measure. Of course. I feel like it's a Gilead again. Okay. John Morales, a hurricane expert for 34 years. This is a guy in Florida, southern Florida. A meteorologist stopped in the middle of his broadcast to say he can no longer confidently forecast the weather. That's so funny. And tell them when the hurricane is coming. That's pretty bad in Florida. Why? Because of the cuts, the gutting, the sledgehammer attack on science in general. That's what he's saying. So I guess he's a Democrat. He pulled up a graph laying out understaffing of the National Weather Service. You know what? The Weather Channel's never right anyway. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration layoffs, Doge buyouts, resignations, the loss of experts everywhere, decrease in weather balloon launches. And then he says the quality of forecast is becoming degraded. Never right anyway. I wish I was a weatherman. 3 states on Monday were told to stay indoors. Not me. I'm going out. I don't care how bad the weather. I always get those bad weather quality alerts. I'll just choke on my bike. That was from Canada, Maine, New Hampshire, and Ohio. Well, that wasn't from Canada. Ohio too? Unhealthy particle pollution. Oh my. Even if you're healthy, they say. Wow. I always see yellow and I just go anyway. I don't know. My mother's like, you're going to die out there. Yeah. I don't bring water either until it's 90. That's my cutoff. And I still go biking until it's 100. Okay. The State Board of Examiners for Nursing has revealed, it's my writing. Look at this crap. Has revoked or asked the voluntary surrender of Connecticut nursing licenses. Thank God I don't go to Connecticut to get my care. Their healthcare is pretty good out there. Top 5 in the country. Associated with 58 people tied to Operation Nightingale, a federal investigation. The State Department of Public Health is investigating 69 more instances in where nurses got a license in Connecticut based on fraudulent schooling. Close to 24 nursing schools in Florida. So they go down there, get it, and then they come up here and practice. Wow, man. That's pretty scary. Okay, research shows states with the highest dementia risk. Am I in there? Is Massachusetts in there? Study of U.S. military vets 65 and older, 1.2 million veterans who received care from the Veterans Administration from 1999 to 2021. So North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, you see something in common. Living in the Southeast, highest risk, 25% higher dementia rates than the Mid-Atlantic region, had the lowest rates. New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, D.C. The new study defines people with hearing loss. I was hearing wind. My doctor said it's wax. And my cholesterol's okay, guys. I can eat meat again. People with hearing loss have significant higher risk of dementia. This was in the Journal of American Medical Association. 32% of all dementia cases in elderly may have been caused by or connected to hearing. Oh, I told you to get that hearing aid. Unbelievable. It can double your chance of dementia, according to Elaine Backman. She cited the study from Johns Hopkins. She's a hearing specialist at Belting Hearing Center. Ooh, wow. But dementia keeps declining in each generation. So I'm going to leave you with something good there, says a new study. Researchers at the University of Queensland, Australia, decreases were more pronounced in women. Who cares about the guys? No, I don't want to say that, but that's good news for me. So also, if you have herpes, you're less likely to get dementia. And if you're single, it cuts the risk in half. Don't get married. Don't get married. All right, guys. Happy Father's Day. Hope you're having a great day. And I don't know what to say if you're over here. It's a little cooler, but it's going to get really hot this week. Thank God we'll see the sun. Is it safe to go out? All right, bye.